it gave me some weird error at first. So I was like, oh man, we're maybe night live. But no, we are
But
live.
we are. Let's
Hello,
go.
world. Welcome to Two Snaps in a Circle. And I am Chevy.
Hmm.
And you are.
I am Toya. Hello, everybody.
Wait, what kind of. You did like a.
I know I started right here too, so I made 2 circles. I made like them compare and contrast circles.
Oh, yeah. With the middle part. With the
Yeah.
W in the middle.
With the W in it.
Inside joke, y'all. Well,
Inside
no, it's
joke,
not an
inside
inside joke. Y'all need to go check out our Gaming with Friends stream at DJ Stacy J.
Yup.
You can actually watch the replay of Tuesday, and we were playing Jack in the Box games, and
Whew.
we played this amazing game. I can't think of the name of it.
It's called Talking Points. I will not forget that. Talking Points. And essentially you're making speeches about random things that everybody that is like made up. They put a lot of fill in the blank statements, and now you have to make a speech off a lot of these fill in the blank, and it's your segues, and it's such a good game. It's such a good game.
It really is. It's really fun. But yes, just go watch the replay on DJ Stacy J's Twitch, and you can see what we're talking about. And actually, if you want to come play with us, you can come play with us next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Yeah, so that's some promotion. Look at us.
Let's go. We're getting the hang of this.
Right. Look at us trying to be somebody. Now let me find my notes. Next part. Small talk. It's like, no, I'm reading my notes.
Right. How is the weather? How about those lions?
Oh man, no, but seriously, how has your week been going?
It's cool. You know, I'm coming off the birthday weekend and hanging out with the homies and just, getting all the love from, happy birthday, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media drowns you with all that stuff and texts and calls. And so, yeah, I'm still kind of riding the high of that, which is really nice, why I understand why people celebrate their birthday for weeks and months, because it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. So, but yeah.
Loved, yes.
Yes, it's just so nice. It's just so nice to know that you're loved. So a nice little healthy reminder. But things are cool. Good old Thursday. How about yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm just ready for tomorrow to be 6:30, because this week has been a very interesting week. Like, have you ever had a work week where it's like you don't like your job, because who does? But it's like, I'm not mad enough to complain, but I'm flabbergasted by the things that I've had to deal with this week. That's where I'm at. Like, my daily calls have escalated from like, okay, everybody's stupid, to everybody's crazy, to what the fuck, to oh, now everybody's mean. So I hope everything goes back down to like everybody's nice tomorrow, because
yeah
that's just where the week is. I went back and forth with someone about why the mail isn't behind in the United States because of the pandemic. So yeah, that was a great
such a silly conversation to have. No, I feel you. Where I worked with kids, and sometimes the conversations we would have with one another, I'm like, what is wrong with y'all this week? Like, is it National Kids Act Like Goddamn Food Week? Like, no, for real. It's just like, what happened to y'all? Y'all woke up like today's the day that I'm gonna act like a goddamn fool. Specifically to
especially when you come back from a holiday.
Oh, especially from the holidays. I think I will always be a little traumatized by like holiday breaks. Like,
yeah, because that Monday in the gym and in the lunchroom and on the playground is crazy. Hey, Stacy.
What up, Stacy? Oh my God, the reflection that I've had being no longer being in schools and working in schools full time. The reflection I have on it is like, I can't believe that for 2.5 hours, or like really all day. Honestly, I spent most of my time outside with the kids. I couldn't believe in this type of weather I was outside,
Yeah,
because all
I was a parapro, so yeah. Yeah.
you know what it's like. And
Yeah.
just like you said, those lunchrooms inside those gyms, helping out, like whatever it may have been, wherever you helped in that school, it's just like pandemonium. They said, we're going back to school. Whatever I did know, I don't really care about that. I'm still excited about what was under my Christmas tree. They could be wearing uniforms. Like, you're not even wearing any of your Christmas gifts. You can't even bring your, but you still decided to bring all that energy here today. And
Mhm.
it just shows you that home life, even for the really like well behaved kids, it's different.
Right.
Like,
It is.
school and home life are two different things for them. So yeah, the reflection I've had on myself personally, like, I can't believe I used to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
I do too.
I can't believe I was walking
And
into
I was
somebody's
only there for
school.
4 hours. So
I was pulling all dayers, and then when I was when I was doing the AmeriCorps, I was pulling like 40 hours plus at the schools. Like, the kids gone, and I'm still here.
Ooh,
I'm still
ooh,
here.
ooh, ooh. I worked with the babies though. Well, I mean, recess is recess, so you work with all ages. But
Oh yeah.
when I was in the classroom, I was with the babies. I was in the kindergarten classes. So
Oh man. But those babies, they got me through it some days where it's like, thank you for being just an innocent little just human being. Thanks for being a human.
No.
Because it was specific ones. It wasn't like always.
Just thinking
For
back
real.
to the memories of the
Right,
little
gotcha.
chilling. The little chilling.
Oh man. Oh man.
Woo!
Um Nobody asked. This is one of those nobody asked, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. If you are digging my beer cozy, it is from a company in Detroit called Simplified, and yeah, they put out these really explicit, cool beer cozies
That's what you be saying.
because this is what you say. This is what you say. Kids don't curse until you're ready for it, but but yeah, so if anybody's interested, you go to simplified.com. They got all the good stuff. Yeah, you want to get into movie news?
Well, yes, we can get into movie news. Let me pull up my little movie news. I wrote
Yes.
it out so I could be more professional. But
We getting there, y'all.
right. But before we get there, I just want to let you guys know that every 10 minutes you watch the stream, you get superstar point, power point. I was so ready to do it right. And it came out wrong.
Already? That you over prepare.
I over prepared my speech.
Girl.
And then it came out
Talk
wrong.
about it.
Dang. Anyway, like I was trying to say before my mouth so rudely interrupted my speech. Every 10 minutes you watch the stream, you get 10 star PowerPoints, which once we start doing giveaways, then you might win a prize. And if you are enjoying the stream, if you enjoy the stream, if you enjoy us, if you know us, follow us on Twitch, me at Chevy the Superstar and Toya at Point of View Finder. Please support the people that you love. Make an account. It's free. Celebrities are on Twitch. You can watch Soulja Boy or my stupid Amazon Alexa is talking.
What you talking about? What do you want, Alexa?
You can watch us. I'm having trouble. See, it's like she think I'm talking to her, and I'm not. I ain't saying her. I ain't talking to her
at
but
all.
Anyway, you can watch us, and then you can watch Soulja Boy, or you can watch us, and then you can watch T-Pain. Then you can watch more us, and then you can watch Timbaland. Then you can watch more us, and then you can watch whoever the hell else you want to watch.
Honestly.
DJ Stacey J.
Yes, because right, you need to come over there for that Wednesday wine night or the Tuesday game night. We get
yeah, and you need to go see DC the dude or Clark. No, what is his name on here? Clark Noved.
yeah.
He plays actual video games.
That's kind of your zhuzh.
Yeah, if you like actual video games on Twitch, then yeah, you can see him play actual video games. So there's our spiel. Thank you, Stacy, for putting everyone's Twitch name in the comments. So now I guess I'll get into movie news.
Movie news.
Okay, so let's see. What's the news? So they just announced that they're going to make a Borderlands movie. Borderlands is a video game.
Okay, I thought
Um, and Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett are supposed to be in it.
that's
Um,
exciting.
yeah, I guess I don't know nothing about that
Yeah.
game.
Maybe not like I guess I don't mean necessarily personally, but like I guess I'm like kind of happy for Kevin Hart.
Well, I'm
That's
down
kind of dope.
for
Like
anything with Kate Blanchett. So,
that's what I'm saying. So it's just like that's kind of dope. Like I'm happy for him.
did you see the trailer for the movie Bliss that's going to be coming out on Amazon Prime?
No, I did not.
I watched it today because I saw a post about it on Rotten Tomatoes, and Selma Hayek and I think it's Owen Wilson is in it, and it's about like this woman, this man who takes these drugs and they go into an alternate version of
Mm.
reality, but they're still walking around. So to me, it's like if you snorted up VR technology into your nose and you were still walking down the street and everything looked terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but in your mind, because you have the technology in your head, you see it as a beautiful place. And the way
Yeah.
Selma Hayek is selling it is the real world is the snorted up VR, and the fake world is the dilapidation that you are actually surrounded by.
Mm.
So basically, the Matrix, but backwards.
But Running Man.
Right, right. And you walk around, and but they can also manipulate the reality as well.
Wow.
And
Okay, a little butterfly effect.
yeah, so
I love when people go there with it.
I don't know what's gonna happen in the movie, but the
That
trailer
sounds
looks
interesting.
interesting to me.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. I definitely want to check that out.
Stacey gonna say, "Yeah, they did. They really did. They like put this technology in their nostrils. That's
What was
really
the other movie? Limitless, where he was like taking the drug. But
yeah.
yeah, that was a pill though. That was a pill though.
It
But at
was
one
oh,
point
they
he
put it in their eyeballs too, or
but wasn't
something.
he? Yeah, but yeah, some of at one point he did snort it, I believe, right? Didn't he like crush it and snort it?
Limitless. Oh, that's with what's his name in it? Bradley
Bradley
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah, yeah, he
Same
was.
house.
I think he was taking it all ways, honey. I think he was taking it all ways. He was just a drug addict by the end of it, to be honest.
Damn, boy.
Yeah, that was just it.
Damn, son.
Man,
Snorting
was
technology. That's
good
good.
at it. Okay, let me go back to my notes. So, okay, you saw the? Did you have you seen the Godzilla trailer that dropped this week?
I'm a huge fan of King Kong. Like I
Really?
just yes, I at least like the most recent no. What's the last one? Kong.
Skull Island with Brie Larson and Tom
Okay.
Hiddleston.
I enjoy that. I'll need to watch that a second time, but I enjoyed that. The one before that, like the most recent remake with Jack Black, Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, that's a boxer, but Adrian, the one with the nose, who kissed Halle Berry. They did a King Kong. I love that movie. That's one of my
I'm
faves.
gonna see what you're talking about because I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's just like the King Kong. It's the remake of King Kong, but it's the most recent
I
King
don't know if
Kong
I've seen
movie.
that one. I just seen the one
Really?
with
But
Brie
yeah, Jack
Larson in
Black
it.
is in it. Damn, who is that? The lead actress. I forget her name, but she
Oh, Naomi Watts from
Nine,
The Grudge.
yes, yes.
From Green.
I just enjoyed
Yeah,
that movie
I've
a
seen it.
lot. And I don't know, I've always enjoyed stories about King Kong. I don't know why. I think it's like a little bit of like my infatuation with New York and just like I do enjoy like movies about monkeys, like Planet of the Apes and stuff like that. I don't know what it is like. So King Kong is like one of my jams. So I'm really excited about this Godzilla movie. And I've never been into Godzilla. I've only seen like one Godzilla movie, and probably the one in 2000, like the one in the
Oh,
2000.
with the Puff Daddy.
Yep, that is. I believe that. Is the only one that I've ever seen. But so I'm super excited. Yes, I saw the trailer and I'm like, yes, but that's the movie. That's the movie I want to see on the big screen.
Yeah, yeah, but I
That's
mean, unless y'all want to rent out the movie theater. I mean, because we definitely can rent out the movie
we
theater. It's only
can't.
like 10
That
people,
option is
but
always there. That might be the one time where it's like, it's been funny during these COVID times. there's a lot of different activities that you say like, I'm not doing that during COVID. No, I was already weary of it pre-COVID, but it's times like this that come and say, with the right group of people, and if we keep our mask on, I'm down to do it.
I'll
Like
be up in
so.
there cleaning it up. I'm gonna be in there
Mhm.
cleaning. But yeah, no, I'm with it. I'm with it. We'll see what
Yeah, what do
happens.
you think of the trailer? Like, are you excited at all? Is it?
It's all right. I mean, I'm cool with it. I mean, I
Mhm.
really like the last one. So with Millie Bobby Brown and the chick from I can't never remember this lady's name from Insidious. I can't never remember her name, and I don't feel like looking it up
Oh, I
at this
feel like I
moment.
know who you're talking
But
about too. I can't remember her name either. But
they
I know exactly who you're talking about. I love when it's so funny when you know actresses and actors and you're like,
I can't remember your name
I
right now.
can't remember your name for the life of me.
I'm
But
sorry,
I
girl.
could probably list like 5 movies you was in, but I still can't.
I know
Yeah.
your sister and everything, child, but I can't think of your name. But no, it's cool. I'll watch it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, for the culture.
King Kong
'Cause
and
look,
Godzilla punching each other in the face. Hell
come
yeah,
on
I'm gonna
now.
watch that. That's hilarious.
Come on now. And I mean the trailer just made me feel like, okay, I'm interested. Why is Godzilla like this? Oh,
Yeah, I think
they've been
they
at this
put
for a
some
minute.
experiments or something on him. I don't know because I don't know enough about that world to even dive
Hmm.
into it. I was
Yeah.
watching a blogger. She's an African American, comic book reader slash journalist, everything like that. It's called The Blurred Girl.
I about to say
And,
they like to call them themselves blurs. I love that. What?
she had another black woman on, and her theory was they gonna be kissing. That's what she said. She's like, that reason they gonna end up being they gonna kiss. And I was just like, that's so amazing, but it's so much more amazing because a black woman said it. Like,
That's the best. That is the best. They're gonna come out. They're gonna come out as a couple.
I just thought that
It's
was
gonna be rainbows
hilarious. It was
everywhere.
hilarious to me. So, have you seen the trailer for, because that dropped since the last time we streamed, for
Mm-hmm.
little things, the little things with
Mm-mm.
Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto.
Okay, I've been seeing little snippets. I have not like slowed down because coming off the birthday, you know how that be. But it's run across my scrolling in a few moments, and I've been like, okay, Denzel, okay, Jared Leto. Yeah, that's it's giving me 7 vibes.
Yes, seven
It's
vibes.
giving me
Yes,
7 vibes, which I was late to the 7 train. I
you was
mean,
late to what's in the box.
I was late to what's in the box. I have to say, I
Oh,
probably heard like the what's in the box joke a couple times and was like,
what's in the
no,
box?
really,
Like,
what's
what's
in
in
the
the
box?
box?
What's in the box for real though? Like, why is this so? And then it was like,
It's a
oh,
head in the box. Spoiler alert.
right,
Spoiler
it's
alert.
a head in the box, y'all.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box. It's that. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god! But
Oh man.
yeah, it's giving me 7 vibes. So I need to. I've been battling like, okay, do I go watch the trailer? Do I just stay with the energy that I got? So, I can still stay like somewhat excited and, because how sometimes when you watch the trailer, you see too much, you're like, I'm not interested no more. But
Yeah, no, but they did their trailer right. They
okay.
did trailer right. A lot of the times, I don't know if they think people are less into those type of movies, but they give too much away in the trailer, and it's like I don't need to go see the movie now. But they did the trailer right, and that's why I
That's good.
really am excited to see the movie because they
That's
did
good.
the trailer right.
And to me, you have to do that with a Denzel movie
Yeah,
because,
I mean they all Academy Award winner actors, all
yeah,
three of them.
come on now.
Gonna be good.
They coming with it. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, this is the type of stuff that's like, okay. Y'all
How
trying to
y'all
come
get
with it in a
Jared Leto,
panorama.
Rami Malek, and Denzel Washington in a movie together in the first place? Let's just be real and let's talk about that.
Yep.
Let's talk about that. How they get them in a movie together in the first place?
How did the coupling of that two happen? What producers and director was involved in that said, you know what, Jared? Denzel.
Right.
We haven't seen this before. Let's do it.
But I don't know. I do think it's going to be different than something that we've seen before, and I'm excited to watch because I
Oh.
like movies like that. That's my type of movie, like Along Came the Spider, Hannibal type, Copycat, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Kiss the Girls type
Yep.
movie. I love
Yeah.
those type of movies.
Yeah. Would this is a little old to Denzel with Bones. Is that the movie Bones? No,
Oh,
that's the
The Bone Collector.
Bone Collector. Bone Collector. That's with him and Queen Latifah, right?
Yes, where she died super hard. Yeah.
Yo, but what about that other one where like the spirit lives outside you and can get inside you? It's a Denzel movie. And John Goodman's in it, and he's like his friend, detective cop friend, and it's this
Man,
this oh man, I'm gonna figure it out. But it's right up. It's yeah, I'm with you.
I
Like
don't know what.
Gothica.
Oh, Gothica is another good
Yeah,
one.
like
Yeah,
Gothica.
yeah,
Yes, I'm about to pull up
yeah.
Denzel's
That's
IDMB.
a that's a really good one. I really love Gothica, and that
I,
was
yo,
Robert Downey Jr.'s first movie back into acting, and he broke Halle Berry's arm in that movie as well
Hustle.
by mistake
Shut
while they was
up.
doing the scene. Yeah, he broke her arm by mistake
Word.
while they was doing the scene,
Dang.
and that was
I
his
would
first
have.
movie back into acting after he
That's what's up.
cleaned
I'm so
up.
happy for him.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm so
mean,
happy for him
he Iron
because,
Man
like,
now. He Iron Man now. He not
hey,
technically
hey,
because
once he became Iron Man, it was a wrap. It was
it's
a wrap.
over.
I think it's
It was
called
over.
Fallen. I think it's called Fallen.
I never seen that. I never seen that.
Oh, you is this it? Yeah, homicide detective John Hobbs witnesses the execution of serial killer Edgar Reese. Soon after the execution, the killings start again. They are very similar to Reese's style. And so, yes, yeah, you need to see Fallen. I think you might fuck with that. It's from '98 too. So that's a good Denzel movie.
I
And
definitely need to see it.
I think that's low key Denzel's bag. Like Denzel's like drama, right? But then there's this like I don't know what you call that genre, even though we listed off plenty of movies in it, but it's kind of like drama, mystery, sci-fi. Like
Like,
it's not
who done it?
sci-fi.
Who done it?
Yeah, like investigative murder, but like with that, it always has that like twist to it where you're
Mhm.
like, is this real life?
Yeah,
Like
like
he's really good at that. I wonder how many times Denzel's played a cop.
probably at least 10 times.
At least 10.
At least
I
10.
agree. At least 10. Hold on. Let me look. Now we digging into Denzel's.
Well, while you digging that up, I'm gonna move forward
Yes, I
because
like the
we'll be
time.
on this for 2 hours.
We sure will. Look, we sure will.
All right, so now I have some sad news to deliver because some movies are being pushed back. They announced that No Time to Die is going to be pushed back to October 8th. That is the 007 movie that was supposed to be coming out last year. Uncharted, a movie based off the video game Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, Spider-Man, is going to be pushed back until February 11th of 2022. I don't know why they put exact dates on it when they know they're going to push these back again. The new Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife, starring Paul Rudd, is also being pushed back until June 11th. That is the sad news about the movies that are being pushed back. I'm sure we'll have plenty more movies to announce that are being pushed back as well as the year continues because that is commonplace at this point. It's very sad. It's very sad stuff. Let's see what else I got. So, you ever seen Spy Kids?
No, I never. Maybe once when I was a kid, but like probably once when I was a kid. But I don't remember shit. Like nothing, nothing. I know, I know.
Spy Kids is amazing, and I used to watch it every day. You need to watch it.
Okay,
People calling me.
I'm
My God, let
Is
me.
Man on Fire? Is he a cop in that
He a
movie?
like
He's
an
always
he's
like
like
a
a bodyguard, private
yes,
investigator
right. See,
person.
he's always like some form. Either he's a straight up cop, detective, or he's just like some form of yeah. But it's I'm definitely on like 6, and I'm only getting to Inside Man.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah,
But Inside Man, he wasn't a cop in that, was he? He was a
he
subway
he's a
driver.
detective.
Oh, he's a detective?
He's a detective.
I
Yes.
thought he was a subway driver. My
No.
bad.
No, you're
Okay.
thinking about the taking of Pelham 123.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
believe, yeah, that's when he's like on
Oh,
the
he was
subway.
a train driver. And
Yeah, yep.
that's funny. That's funny.
That's a
Okay.
good one. Yes, that's so good.
So Robert Rodriguez, who made Spy Kids, is rebooting Spy Kids. I'm excited to
Oh,
see
nice.
that. I mean, I really do like Robert Rodriguez, and I like Spy Kids, so I like to see who he would get to play or replace Antonio Banderas and that lady that I like, that I can't think of her name right now, who was on.
Salma? No, not
um,
Salma.
no, she was in The Hunting of Bly, not Bly Manor, but the first
Oh, of
season,
course it's
the
gonna be
mom.
Salma.
She
Yeah,
played
yeah.
the mom. I can't think what her name is right now.
Mm.
Okay, then they dropped some news saying that there are gonna be an animated drama version of Game of Thrones. Interesting. I don't know how that would look, but okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my jam.
they dropped a trailer for the Mighty Ducks TV show today that's going to be on Disney Plus, and Emilio Estevez is going to be in the show. So
That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
definitely going to watch that.
Bring back the people, give them jobs.
A couple more trailers dropped for like I mean, I'm just trying to be inclusive to everything here. They dropped a trailer for SpongeBob new movie today. They and Keanu Reeves is gonna be in it again. Snoop Dogg. And who else? Oh, and Danny Trejo.
Oh, who is he gonna be, Mr. Crab?
I don't know. He's gonna be like a person, like himself. I don't know, but he's gonna
Oh
be.
yeah, I've never seen the SpongeBob movie.
I saw like the first one. It was pretty good. What's her name was in it? Dang, I am having a hard time with names today. My goodness.
Yeah, you
Scarlett Johansson was in it. Scarlett Johansson was in it.
hey, let's
I just
bring
had
it
to
back.
sound it out a little bit. I saw this trailer today with Kristen Wiig in it called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. I think it's gonna be like the new generation of like Night at the Roxbury.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
But dumber, I feel like.
But dumber. Yeah, like what happened to the days of like SNL skits becoming movies?
Yeah, but I think they are. I think these characters are from an SNL skit. I
Oh,
just
nice.
didn't do
Okay, that's
enough
what I'm talking
research
about.
to
Okay.
find that out. And they dropped a new trailer for Snowfall, and they picked up Blacklist for the final season, the final 9th season of the Blacklist. That is a lot.
It is.
But I am done.
Cheers. I'm excited about Snowfall is a good show. I just I think I've discussed this before. Just, the panorama just gets you really just got at the thick of it. It was just a lot going on, and so I was able to get through like 4 episodes of the first season, but it was a show that I liked, and I could see myself going back and just binging it. So I'm
I
excited.
haven't watched the episode ever, and I don't really plan on it.
You probably won't. Yeah, I don't think it's really your.
My jish.
Yeah. Yep. I was trying not to use it again, but it's just an appropriate good word to use.
Thing. Real. How you doing?
Hey, BFF to all the BFF.
Right. Also,
He's
y'all,
Captain BFF.
I know he really is the BFF of all the BFFs to ever
Oh
BFF.
man. I was just talking to a friend about like best friends and that BFF and best friends forever type vibe. And I think as adults, that's something that's not easy to grow out of, like sharing a BFF, like we all meeting each other. It's like, oh, he said I was his best friend. But I'm also his best friend. But it's like, look where we are today.
Best friends of the best friend.
We are the best friends of the best friend. Like it has been times where we've all 3 went out, and I'm like, oh, that's Siobhan. I'm like, that's Jarrell's best friend. And they looking at me like, but I thought you just said that he's your best friend. I'm like, yeah, but that's his best friend too. Like, and that's his, and she's his best friend. We're all best friends.
So are y'all best friends? Not yet. Not yet.
We like this. God damn it, we friends. We
Yeah,
friends.
let us
Oh
live.
man, let's get into it.
Oh
Wow.
man, we
Do
watched.
you, yeah,
Okay,
do you want to introduce this? Cause like,
let me get my life. I was supposed to have this, but I had to do all this looking up for people because I couldn't remember anybody's name. All right, so let me get this together. So, guys, we watched a film. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Okay, so we watched a film called The Imitation of Life, made in 1959. It is a film that was based off of a book written by an author with a name. Her name is Fannie Hurst. I had to pull it up. And it was the second adaptation of the film. The first adaptation of the film was black and white, and it came out in 1934. Um, the synopsis of the movie goes: an aspiring white actress takes in an African American widow whose mixed race daughter is desperate to be seen as white. Dang, that's so depressing.
man, it's right. It's the exact synopsis of the film.
So depressing.
Like they don't let you go 10 minutes in this film without understanding that little girl don't want to be white. I mean black.
At all.
That this black woman is like, I'll be your maid. And that this white woman wants to be Hollywood famous. She wants to be Broadway famous. Just like every 10 minutes, you are reminded of this. And the story mirrors it every single moment. Um, yeah. So, like, a little context is this is my first time actually seeing this movie. Now, much like most people, I knew about it, heard about it plenty of times, maybe even heard plenty of quoted, parts of it or like jokes. And I maybe fake laugh, like, I think I know what you're talking about, But now I really get all those jokes now. Now that I've seen the film.
I honestly have never seen anybody say jokes about Imitation of Life. People take that shit real serious. Like,
Yeah, but then I like comedians that make fun of shit like this. And so yeah, I probably I'm still just like, pulling it out the world of references I may have heard in life. But I am very thankful that we watched this film this week because I think it's important to have seen this film. I believe that you talked about it on Tuesday when you were promoting our show, and I'm glad I've seen this. It's very rare that we get a chance to go back and watch movies from the even the 70s and the 80s.
yeah, and
So
they not like torturous like that one Westworld we watched, because that was just torturous.
yes, so this was very nice because you can tell, there were many times I had to remind myself, like, it's from the 60s, it's just different. It's a different time. This is
Right.
like, these are amazing actresses and people of their time. And you got to understand why they picked these people because, like, it was just a different time. This was before you. This was before my mom. This is a year before my mom was alive.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
It's old
Uh,
stuff here.
but
I'm
yeah, like
saying I'm
overall,
old, not saying that. I'm just saying it's old movie.
no, 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 no,
I'm like,
no,
oh shoot.
no.
Oh shit, I'm so sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
of all people will not take offense. Look, my mom's skin just like mine, and she won't either. My mom's coworkers think that she's like 42. I'm like, she an old lady. Always be making fun of. I'm like, y'all need to. It's time to get them senior citizen perks. Let's go.
No, check it. One time, well, at work, like last year, my mama was talking to this young girl. She asked my mom a question, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, you go to the left and go to the right," because my mom thought she was talking to her. She was like, "I wasn't talking to your old ass." And my mama told me that. I said, "Who's she calling old?"
Right.
And then I said, "Oh, oh."
Like,
Well, she not. To me, she's
to
not.
me, right. It's one of those things where like I could call her an old ass, but you can't call her an old
Yeah,
ass
don't be
woman. I
saying
can call
that.
her.
But I didn't even realize it for real. Like it was like a wake up call for me in that moment because I was like,
Dude.
"Who's she talking? Oh, ain't nobody old over here. Ain't nobody old over here."
Little did you know.
Like, oh
Oh my
yeah,
God. But look, speaking of people just talking to strangers in ways that they feel like they're familiar to them.
right. This movie is a prime
The
example of
opening of this film just it showed its age, you know, like I guess that's what we could say about the Imitation Life. It definitely showed its age and the way that the story progressed, and so the way the movie opens up is just a woman's like, I can't find my baby and I can't find my daughter and where's my daughter? And I'm talking about they open the film up showing you this crowded ass beach, like
I
it's like
just got
20.
so stressed out because of coronavirus when
Yo,
that scene stressed
I
me.
was like, I was like, oh my God, during a
Then it's like, oh wait, no, this is from 1959. It's
right,
all
you're
right.
like, this is
It's all right.
like, this is like, I'm like, during the pendejo, like, what is going on? Are we serious? Shout out to my homie Ashley because we just everybody. I mean, everybody's doing it, but she just
Yeah,
reminded me like you just name it whatever p word you want
the
to. But
Pandora.
for real, I was looking at. I was like, look at all these damn people. I can't believe that we get together like this. What the
Yeah,
hell?
like I'm like, this is disgusting. We're
This is
disgusting.
gross. Why are people doing this? And so, imagine looking for your lost child. You find your lost child. This woman had put in the report. She's doing her best, and then she's playing with another little white girl. It's it's it came out in the 50s, but it was the 50s. It was the 50s, right? Because I'm trying to remember that that banner she
Yeah,
was over.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe it's the 50s, but it's definitely during a racially like charged time, as we all know, where black people are chauffeurs and busboys and maids and the help.
But it also like made me feel like, hey, you know what it is, kind of like it was never like, hey, nigger. It was always like, nigga, you know what it is, like that, like I'm gonna just
Come
give you
on
this
now,
look, like you know
don't
what it is.
don't act like. And I mean, and that's a whole nother topic, but that's that inferior like complex, that we realize that we cannot sit with that. And that bothered me that, I talked at the screen a lot during this, I had a lot of comments, and anytime she just was kind of like, oh, I will take care of you. Aren't you looking for a black slave? I just was like, why are you pimping yourself out to this woman? You don't even know what she got. I said, it's not like you had peeped the game and knew she was a rich woman and knew she was well off. You just was like desperate.
But I
And
don't think she was desperate. I think she was desperate, but I don't think she
yes,
was as desperate as she was nice. And I mean, that's only something that you find out closer to the end of the movie. She was a
yes.
very well liked woman from all races. She was
Mm-hmm.
a helpful person. She was a friendly person, but she was desperate. So she used those qualities to her advantage
Yep.
to finagle her way. I mean, the whole movie, she's slithering like a snake through every situation. Like she just
Period.
knew how to move. She knew how to
Period.
move.
Part.
She knew what it was, but she
Look.
knew how to move.
Yep.
Period.
Like
Like,
how I felt about I'm sorry, not Annie. Is what's her name?
Annie or Laura.
So it is Annie. Yes, Annie was like adaptable. Like the woman just could get through anything. Like that. That's what I learned, of course. These I'm talking about my first impressions. Like I'm just like,
But I mean, she was a
no,
real manipulator in that situation because her daughter was raggedy and she knew she was.
she knew she
She knew
was.
she was.
She knew she was, and because I felt like Annie was like, all I got to do is get in the house, and she won't be able to throw me out once I get in the house. Like I was like, damn,
I'm gonna do things that she's not even doing for herself.
yep, exactly. Like let me show her how to get through this single mother struggle. And it's like, girl, because you actually have a well like behaved child. Like Susie was so innocent, and she, you know, she's like maybe my next favorite character because uh, along with the whole idea of like victims, you know, when I think about it, like if there's a victim character, it's like Annie and Susie, because I just feel, you know, it.
Definitely,
and
definitely.
and like honorable mention Steve Archer, because it's like, damn, bro,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. Yep.
damn, my G, which he
Yep.
was fine as hell. Like I
Oh
got
my
it.
God.
Like I was like,
Steve was
damn.
that was one of my notes. I just had to write it down because Steve was
Damn, you are
fine.
fine. I get it.
I
Like I would have
mean,
swooned over you too. But
but Laura wasn't swooning. She was
Laura
really
was
about
not.
Steve.
Laura didn't swoon until damn near 10 years later.
Yeah. But no, that part, the thing was funny about it, like when he came to her play and he brought the girl with him. And then she's like, "Oh, we got you now. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't never letting you go again." And I was just
I
like,
was like, damn, that was G shit.
but
That
they
was stuff.
both were G's. Like they
No,
really
that's stuff.
were. Like,
That's what she definitely learned along the way. You know, that was one of the moments I think that she definitely learned along the way. Um, for there was for the times that I felt like they sped up the process or they told the story very quickly, I realized that it's because they put everything out there. You know, they didn't shy towards like getting right to it. You know, one of my favorite scenes that's a good representation of that is when the daughter, Sarah Jane, the mixed daughter, sneaks out and comes back, and Susie's like, "Girl, like, where was you at? What was you doing? What's going on?" Sarah
Sarah,
Jane's telling her what she was doing, and then she's just like, "Oh, I have to be with a white man, and I have to act white, and I just have to be this way because who wants to know that I have a colored mother?" And just, oh my God. And it's just like, girl, you was just so happy about your white boyfriend. Like,
yeah, the dramatics. The
the
dramatics.
dramatics. And that's, I was like, oh, this is different. This is different.
It's like a play, but a movie.
Oh, it is such like a play because it just goes from I was excited about the boyfriend to like this being black shit, this being mixed shit is for the birds. I'm over it. I'm done. Like I don't want to be here no more. Like Susie, I don't want to be here.
I mean, like there's a specific scene. Like I literally just wrote like every pivotal scene down that kind of showed us like Sarah Jane, like the scene at the beach, like
Yes.
because I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. It's not a movie that I just be like, "Oh, I'm about to watch Imitation of
Right.
Life." Because for me, it was never funny to me
Mm-hmm.
because I look like Sarah Jane. So
Preach.
it wasn't something that was funny to me. I see the humor in it now, but those are some things that I dealt with. Now I'm not a psychopath because I think Sarah Jane is a psychopath.
Yo, put
Yeah,
the thriller, put the a thriller aspect of it, and she would have killed somebody.
yeah, definitely. I
She
feel
would have
like
killed
from a
somebody. She would
young
have
age,
killed Susie. She would have killed
yeah,
Susie,
I truly believe that
if
she almost
not her
killed
mother.
her when
If
she was
not,
a child, trying
yes,
to see if white people's blood and black people blood bleed the same. The
yep,
experiment.
yep. That's when I knew she had a serious problem.
No, I knew she had a serious problem from the first time they really introduced her character, just in the way that she looked and like the things she said, like the scene. Well, because the scene that relates to me and my childhood is the scene with the doll, the black doll and the white doll. Now, when I was a kid, they didn't have light skin, medium skin, Mexican or Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have all these choices. It was either blonde haired Barbie or dark skinned Barbie with black hair. But I don't know her name, not Barbie though. I can't think what her name is though. But those are my choices. Do I look like either of those choices? No. So when my mom always tell me this story, and I remember it too, because I just remember being very adamant about no, I don't want that. She would buy me dolls and I would reject them. She would buy me black dolls and I would reject them. I don't want that. It doesn't, to the point where it was like me kicking, screaming, crying. I don't want that. I want that one because that one looks like me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why you're trying to give me something that does not look like me, that is not
Yeah.
representative of me. It doesn't make sense to me why you don't understand it. And because my mom is dark skinned and the doll is dark skinned,
Yeah.
because of the connotation that goes with that, you feel like your child is now Sarah Jane was doing just that. She was rejecting that. But most
Correct.
children who do that, they are not rejecting the darker skin as it's bad or wrong. They're just saying it doesn't represent me, but they don't know how to say that because they 5, they 3, they 2. You know what I'm saying? And watching how she and the reasons for why she rejected, because Sarah James like 10. She had to be at least like 10, 8, 9,
Yeah,
10.
that's what I'm thinking.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
thinking.
So her
Yeah.
reason for rejecting the doll is totally different from mine because she was a fully black little girl. She was not white at all.
Yeah.
Her father was not white. Her father was black. He just looked like me. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Or lighter. He probably was lighter than me.
Yeah, he
But
was probably mixed.
yeah, he probably was the mixed one. But it's like that scene, because my mama forced me to watch Imitation of Life because she was like, she felt like this was representative of things that I put her through when I was a kid. And she was afraid that I would reject her because we didn't look alike. So when I watched the movie, it made me sad because I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way about my mom. I didn't feel that way. At that point, I was at the age where I understood, you know what I'm saying, what it was. But that's because my mom didn't make me feel bad for rejecting the things that didn't look like me. She found a way to get me to understand what it was or gave me what I wanted. I had all the white dolls. But as I got older and started to understand that there are all shades, I got the black dolls too. But when I was little, that's all I had. My mama didn't fight me on that. She let me have what I want because I was cutting the damn fool. She used to tell me I used to be kicking, screaming, stumping out of the store when she would try to give me black dolls. I would throw them, I would kick them, I would push them out of the way. Not because I was rejecting the skin color, but because I was confused as to why people were trying to force me to take on something that didn't look like me.
And I think that sometimes that's where I was a bit disappointed. Of course, like being a watcher, you feel like you know all the answers and you have kind of like a step ahead where you're, like I said, you're yelling at the screen at Laura, like, girl, spend some time with your daughter.
Exactly.
You're like yelling at Annie, like, oh my God. I'm not saying be aggressive, but like, sit this girl down and talk to her about what makes her her and really help her like figure this out instead of just being like, I love you, you're my baby. You
Well,
should
not only
you
that, she
should
was
love
like,
your skin because you love me. And
but
it's like,
that's not even what she would
and,
say. She would say shit like, well, I mean, what am I supposed to tell her? Our lives is hard. We black. Or like, oh, I made my daughter's life hard because of my skin. That's why I'm here. So there was never any love for her. Annie didn't hate herself, but
no.
she didn't love herself enough to teach her daughter how to love herself. She allowed for her daughter to self-hate because it was just like, well, we black, girl.
Yeah, and that's
Some
what
God made us black, some God made us white. I don't know why, but girl, we can't do nothing but deal with
that's
it.
where I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed so many times, but again, that like that little tap on my shoulder reminding myself the time, the place, you got to remember. And even now, I mean, let's not act like self-hate is not happening in 2021, this new decade, this new
There's
century.
Sarah James
But,
out here right now. It's Sarah James out here
Sarah
right
Janes are
now.
out there right now and way darker than Sarah Jane. Because let's
Yeah.
be perfectly honest as well, when we talk about the depiction of the mixed woman, obviously there's very different versions of a mixed, when we're talking about black and white, they do range where it is some blue-eyed, blonde hair, biracial people out there.
And
Like,
then it's people like me that
they
look like
exist.
me that people think are mixed and are not
Dude,
at
and see both
all.
of your parents and be like,
Where you come from?
how did that happen? Like,
I literally told Jarrell about that. Like my former job punked me like that, and they was like, because they had hired no black people. Like I was the first black person they hired, and I truly believe it's because they thought I was mixed. And like 4 years later, they found out I wasn't, and they were flabbergasted. Like I had to show them pictures and proof of everything because they didn't believe me.
like, look at my mother, look at my father, and look at all my brothers.
Yeah, like one of my bosses,
Look
she
at
was
my
my
brother.
new boss, and she got pissed off, and she was like, "Siobhan is black, and I don't know why y'all trying to make her tell you that
Boom.
she's not. I've seen her mom, I've seen her dad. Yes, they're darker than her, but that doesn't mean anything. She is black, and why did y'all? It's your guys' fault that you thought she was mixed. She
Period.
never told you that. That
She
was
never
you
told
guys.
you that.
So yeah, she was
And
mad.
you don't behave in that way either. You know, not to like put align behavior with like racial with identity, like, but I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes your identity or your behaviors can reflect your identity and vice versa. But and I mean, again, it keeps coming full circle to the film itself because um you know, the other side of that is this white woman who has the liberties to dream big and
Right.
want everything that she's ever wanted in life. And you know, one of my favorite quotes, I sent you the screenshots of it, where she's like hugging Steve and she's just talking about like, you know, I want it all, and I want more in my life, and but damn, maybe I want too much. But just even the fact that she could do that, you know, where Annie's on the flip side of that being like, look, I'm about to, this is an opportunity that I can't pass up.
But like that, but that's the thing. They made her believe that she didn't have anything until the end of the movie. She was I believe she was a rising star. I believe she was a part of several organizations. She had a meat for, I mean, for a black woman in that time,
That was a
her dreams couldn't have even imagined those things for a black woman at that time.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
She was had, I feel as if she had more of a full life than Laura could have ever had.
Preach.
Because she didn't, she, everything she did was for her, internal, for herself. It, nobody, everybody reaped the benefits of it, but you know, for a long time, I hadn't seen that movie in so long. I thought that she chose the men in her life over her daughter, but really she chose her career over her daughter. And you know, you have two mothers, but they're raising each other's child in a sense.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. It was, yep. Yep. I mean, I mean, I seen it early on. You know, there were times where I was like, I see where this is going. Oh, this is a predictable moment. But definitely at the end, I was like, wow, you know, even in early where Sarah Jane's asking for the kiss, like Susie gets before bedtime, and Laura's looking at her like, oh, okay,
girl, you is not my child.
you're not my baby, but I'll show you some love because you must not be getting it. Like, maybe I don't know, but it's like, it's not that she wasn't getting it, it's that she wasn't getting it from a white woman. She wanted a white mama, like,
Correct.
period.
And you
So
know, another thing that I noticed about the movie, watching it as an adult, like a full grown adult, the whole part
there is
that
a difference.
religion, yeah, the whole part that religion played into it. For instance, the scene
Mm.
about Jesus, and Laura said, well,
Yep.
Sarah Jane said, is he black or white? And Laura said, that doesn't matter. He's whatever you imagine him to be. But then Susie said, well, Annie told us he's real. If he's real, then that means he's a color. And
Right.
then they like, ain't he real, Annie? Yeah, he real. So what color is he then? And
And
then it's like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying?
no, and it was times like that with Sarah Jane where, as much as I wanted to, like, you know, we talking about kids, you know, and having you know, working in schools and stuff, we know that there's a line, there's a boundary that you just do not cross. And like, no matter how a kid speaks to you, treats you, physically, even physically touch you, you cannot. That was one of those times where it's like, I was like, damn, she making some real sense right now. Like, as
I
many
was
times I
like,
wanted to
see,
slap the shit out of her.
these are the cans of worms that y'all be opening up with kids, and y'all don't even realize it until it's like, damn, now I got to come up with an answer to a question that theoretically shouldn't have
Hey,
an answer.
hey, this is the opposite of kids say the darndest thing. Kids tell the goddamn truth.
Right.
Kids, kids opening your mind.
Like, damn, you did say he was a real dude. So if he real,
We did
you
say that.
know.
And I think both in their as moms, they both kind of teetered around
A lot of
subject.
things. A lot of things. A
You
lot of
know,
things.
they teetered around things, and instead of getting to the nitty gritty, and just like you said, that whole, that cross pollination type vibe, where it's like there are times where Laura stepped into Sarah Jane's face, like, I'm gonna give you the things that your mama won't say to you. I'm about
Yeah,
to
like when
tell
she
you.
told her ass off after she came in there talking about,
It was like, that has nothing to do with being colored. You're acting like a clown. I
yeah,
was
she
like,
was like, we ain't never made you feel different. You didn't always have, and that's the messed up part about Sarah Jane. She
yep.
could have had the best of everything, even
She's
if it was black people best. She could have had the best of everything, and instead she sat up in the house all day, didn't do nothing with her life, didn't become anything, didn't become nothing because she was obsessed, and they both were obsessed.
yep.
Laura and Sarah Jane were obsessed with inward goals that
Mm,
benefited, well, didn't necessarily not. Sarah Jane's didn't benefit anyone, but Laura's
yeah.
benefited everyone, but in a sense, yeah,
Inadvertently. I mean,
yeah,
she's making money. I'm bringing my people with me. Like, because the times when Sarah Jane became that teenager and she's asking her to help, I can tell she was asking in a way of like, not in a way of like, you should help because your mama's the maid and you're black, you're mixed. She was asking her like, you live here too. Cause she had her own whole ass room off the
yeah,
stairs. Like, she didn't treat
yeah,
you like a,
right. But not only that, they made mention to when we go into the future after she met David or whatever, and she started
Mhm.
doing all those plays. The first thing they made mention after she helped her put on her jacket is that that Annie went to the doctor and the doctor told her something, but she said she didn't care about what
Yep.
the doctor said. And after that, we saw her health deteriorate
Yep.
for the rest of the movie until she died.
Completely.
So she knew that it was something wrong with Annie the whole time, but she didn't pry, not because, and this is another thing that I realized in this movie, the racism and classism that took place that made it just so like, well, she takes care of me. So I'm not concerned with her.
Yeah.
But not only
Yeah.
am I not concerned with her, I'm also not concerned with her because she's black. And this is
Mm.
the society that we live in. So
Yep.
she doesn't matter anyway. I love her, but this is how it is. This is how the
Yep.
world works.
Yep.
So this is how it is. I don't ask her about her life because her life isn't important. Not because
Yep.
I don't think she's important to me, but this is how life works in this time.
Yeah. And how much that mirrors today what we are just simply like, hey, like,
It's like your white friend who
yep.
hears
Keep it
somebody call you a nigga and just say, "Hey man, it's cool. Let's just leave."
really?
But that's they cousin. You know what I'm saying?
For real. For real. And I've been in not many situations, but because when those things don't happen to you often and you don't want to be that person, like you don't want to have that reaction that everybody wants you to have, you typically can fall in line. You typically can have an Annie vibe where you're like, I'm just gonna be calm, cool, collected, and act like this is part of life. Although it is.
I mean,
I'm
it
just
is.
gonna
And I mean, we didn't watch like Sylvie's Love is a prime example of black people living through them, maneuvering through them times and just taking in the strides of being black in this time. I mean, because like people had to live like every day and live a life and be okay with whatever life they had. Everybody wasn't a freedom fighter. Everybody wasn't marching. Everybody wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Some people just, Sylvie wasn't out there marching. They never showed her marching in that movie. You know what I'm saying? She took a stand in
sometimes you
another
just
way
live as a black person,
and
you
become
know,
successful. I mean, Annie was a success in her community. She was the only black woman walking around with a mink fur. She
bruh.
did it in a different way. You don't always have to march on the line. She helped everybody she knew. She helped every person she knew. She was a pillar in her community, whether Laura knew that or not. So
Yep.
no, she wasn't a freedom fighter, but she showed those people what they could have, even if it was in death.
Even if in death. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I mean, you know, she was very meek, but she was meek because of the time. She was actually a very strong woman because she was the hardest working woman in that house.
Yeah. And I believe that every moment that she had to, even with Sarah Jane, as hard as that was to navigate that, every time she had a chance to really make a difference, you can, is in pivotal moments where you see like she really tried, you know, when she was talking about boys and kissing with Susie at the picnic, and when she was telling Sarah Jane, like giving her the reel at the outside of Harry's club, you know, like it was many times that she really tried as much, but just like you said, it was because of the times that played into the way the mannerisms of it all. But like, I mean, speed up 5 years and Annie would have been, you know, many of the iconic African American.
I mean, but in the original movie, she was iconic. They ended up getting rich because she came up with a pancake recipe that she was like the Aunt Jemima of the movie.
Oh,
And she and the woman,
okay.
Laura, became business partners because she was Black, so she couldn't sell herself to people, and they became partners. Because see, that's what I was going to ask you. Did you feel like their relationship was a partnership in any way?
It's a partnership in kind of like that that unwritten, unspoken, like we in this together, girl. You know your place, I know my place. Yeah, that way. I guess the imbalance of it all sometimes made me feel like it wasn't fair. It wasn't a fair partnership. But I felt like they both knew what they were kind of signing up for. You know, I think that Annie knew that, okay, I'm about to play mom to both of these girls. And I'm about to play best friend to this woman because I know that she needs that somewhat of this companionship and some other mother to be like, hey girl, like, yeah, no, maybe so. I don't know. That's a really great question. That's a really great question.
I mean, they were kind of.
I think kind of, but it wasn't kind of like a, you know.
But in the original, they were shake on it partners.
Okay. I felt like they kind of vaguely played into that it was some like maybe it was some random night that we never saw, you know, because
they came up with a plan to make that where I feel like that was the scene where they sat there and they signed them envelopes together.
Low key.
This is how we gonna get through this. We need to have each other's back and we need to work this out. Because you know how, because you are the people person, Annie, and I'm trying to get these dreams popping. And if you can deal with these people, because she could sell salt to a snail, Annie could. Period. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna keep making and maneuvering while we make this money, while we get this. You do whatever you need to do. And then when I get famous, I'm gonna pay you. And she paid her well. She paid her well.
She did. She definitely did.
The stuff Annie did, she didn't have to do no more. She told her that. She been had told her that. She told her she didn't have to work. She wanted to work.
Yeah.
She was a helper. She found joy in that. So that's why she continued to do that. Even when she was sick, I just hated watching that lady just die like that. Like just die, like slowly die and then die from total heartbreak. Like when she went and saw her daughter that second time. No, it was the first time. It was the first time because Steve said it because he was like, you can't fix a broken heart. But see, I don't know. That's why I think the dynamics in that film was interesting because those white people love that woman. They love that woman.
They did. Her. One of my favorite interactions is when the director Loomis is like, he tells Annie, he's like, you're way too pretty to be such a, like a watchdog. Like you're
yeah.
I thought that was such a a cool ass interaction, because just like you said, nobody needs a everybody don't need to walk around like nigger, 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 like black people aren't allowed, like, because she just was afforded some things and had some liberties that maybe most black people didn't, which is like goes back to what we were talking about. But the interactions that she had with them, even though she was fetching or getting their drinks or taking their orders or cooking for them or setting things up for them, she was respected in a way that was way more than just the maid.
Right.
Just, like
Right.
that was really
They
just
knew
the
that was her friend. They knew
oh
that.
yeah.
They
Oh
knew
yeah.
that was
Oh
her
yeah.
friend.
Once they really picked up on the energy at first, like Lori was like playing, Laura was playing it up, like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
'cause
got a
she had
man.
to. 'Cause she had to. 'Cause
She
that's the
had
only way
to.
she
But I ain't never seen somebody fake the funk so
and she
much.
was killing that until she couldn't kill it no more.
She, yeah,
She's like, I'm
I
about to
was like,
call LA. I'm about to call LA. And she's like, don't do that.
ah,
Don't do that.
no, unless you want to just get embarrassed. But that man knew, and he was so slick. I don't even the way when he introduced her to Dave, I think it's David Loomis, when he introduced her to him and he like left and everything. I was like, oh, this is very reminiscent of scenes when like the man it was reminiscent of like Players Club when Ice Cube was setting up Ebony to get raped by Junior. Like it felt like that vibes, and
Yeah, it
obviously it
was. But she
wasn't.
did put her, foot down and say what she want. She did what she did with
See,
the
and
other
that
playwright because she wanted to.
Yep, and see that was the difference this time. Like, okay, uh, grant, if we are gonna like play, the two scenes against each other, if Ebony knew what was up, she could have played that Junior situation.
Or if she
You
was a
know what I'm
stronger
saying?
woman. I think Laura was still a strong woman,
She
and she
correct.
because she wasn't no young lady. She had a child.
No,
She
she had
had
been
a
around the block.
husband. You know what I'm saying? She was a respectable woman who was widowed and
You
then
feel me?
decided to go pursue her dreams. So she
Right.
wasn't no punk. She wasn't no
Yeah.
fool either. So
Which I'm sorry, continue.
go ahead. No.
Which is now I'm realizing the maybe that was that unspoken thing between the two of them, is obviously like the widow thing, where it's like how it's one thing to be a single mom, but to be a widowed single mother, like I had a husband here, I had a man in my life, I had somebody that was a part of what I was doing, and now he's gone. You know I think that was the thing that they both admired in one another. And I guess that's maybe that unspoken thing between the two of them, which is when we were talking about that handshake, that partnership, where it's like, if it's one thing at the end of the day, we in this together and you can do what you want and I'll do what I want. And maybe that's why they were able to get along the way that they were. Cause it's like, girl, like as long as you doing this, cause I mean, there were times where Annie was like, we spending a lot of money here and you just tucking bills into drawers.
Well, I just called all your debt collectors and I got us some more time, honey.
Right, right. That's what you realize, that she just was like, I got your back, bitch.
She like,
Damn.
damn, Lauren, like, I ain't paid rent in 5 months, girl. I don't know what you did.
For real. I don't know how this
She
is
answering the
happening.
phone, like, is that the landlord? No, girl, it's the model agency. Like,
Oh my God.
the
Oh my
milkman left
God.
milk here?
God.
Girl.
For real.
Oh,
Oh man. Tell the people about the points, and I have to take a bathroom break.
okay.
I have to.
All right. So, everybody, there are some very pivotal moments in this movie that you should pay attention to. There are a few scenes that are really pivotal into building and breaking the relationship of Sarah Jane and her mom. These scenes start from when Sarah Jane is young and she goes into her, adulthood years. From the scenes we spoke on some of them, but a couple of other ones is a scene, or well, we definitely need to speak about this one when Sawyer come back. The scene where Sarah Jane boyfriend finds out that she's actually an African American woman. The scene where her mom finds her dancing at Harry's club. the scene where she literally tells her mom that she doesn't want her to know her anymore and she wants her to leave her alone forever. Um so
I want people to know.
let's get into the let people let's get into this ass whooping.
Ooh, that, bruh. It was, like I said, it's just
So
one of the
dramatic.
moments
It was so dramatic.
that you be waiting for. But when it happened, you be like, oh shit.
He was like, pow, 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 pow. And then when she go down in that water and she come back up, and then she go back down in the water again.
Look, man, from the moment she met up with my G, I knew like it was going to end with him being like, you part Negro.
She full Negro. Oh man, no.
Man,
I'm trying to figure out how you found out though.
Yes, because I'm like, okay.
Because they never expounded on
They
that.
never really
But
expounded
her
on
mama
that.
didn't care. Her mama was coming up in the classrooms.
She
She was
didn't.
doing everything. She
It
was
must
coming up
have
there
been
and
like
standing
maybe
in the back of the classroom like this.
maybe that's what it was. Like maybe this is my favorite part about movies. Like when you make up stuff that didn't come up on screen. Like maybe it was an old classmate from that time and was like,
Yeah.
that her mom's like is black. Like
She black, bro.
you do know that, right? Like I know she don't look like
fucking
it.
them up back then. Not comparing the two is it's gonna be a joke that I think is funny. Back then, a white dude having sex with a black woman who was passing was like a dude having sex with a woman who was a man. It put them in their mindset like, what the fuck, like, bro,
Yeah, no, it was definitely like if you've watched Pose, if you've watched any movie about a transsexual, specifically a man to a woman dealing with a heterosexual man and him finding those things out, it definitely gave me that same energy. And yes, it was definitely the dramatics for me. I just was so mad that she just didn't fight back. Like,
I mean, that girl ain't never got hit in her life.
yeah, I
You
know.
think her life is so damn hard the way she be acting. That girl has been primped and privileged her whole life.
Right.
We don't know
Right.
what their life was like prior, but
Right.
it was bad because of her daughter. We do know that.
Correct.
We know that. That's the much we do know. And her mother took the blame because she didn't want to blame it on her child.
Yeah.
Sarah Jane was bad. Like she was a bad kid. She was mischievous. She probably was a psychopath, and she would have been a serial killer if the world had been a little different. But
real talk.
Yeah, because she was psychopath. That girl, she was narcissistic as hell. But yeah, Sarah Jane was. She wasn't gonna fight back. She didn't think that man was gonna beat her ass like that.
Nah.
And she didn't want to fight back because she wanted to say, "You did this to me. This is your fault."
That's so true. Because for like the ass whooping that you thought it was, her wounds didn't reflect that. So she went back.
She was beat up enough for me.
She was beat up, but it's just like, I don't know. You know me. It's just like,
and they gonna say, I'm like, what happened? Nothing. What? Nothing, girl. Your face didn't look like that.
Across the stairs with your forehead.
Susie, like her boyfriend did it, y'all. I told her.
Susie,
I basically in a roundabout way said, "Girl, you're gonna get your ass beat."
Die. Here's my question: What Susie falling in love with Steve Archer? What did that represent?
What did it represent?
Yeah. Like we know Susie, obviously, as we get towards the end of the movie, she talks about like the lack of her mother's love and
Well, she also didn't have no father
her
either.
being there.
So
She didn't have a dad. She didn't have a dad.
Steve was fine
So
as hell.
he was fine as hell. And just, I mean, those times are so worthy of being jealous of, like the chivalry, during those times, uh, wow, like flowers just because, I'm pain. I'm gonna ask you out for a dance. Like the way that he treated her.
I'm gonna
'Cause
take care of your daughter while you're in Italy,
I'll take care of your daughter while you're in Italy.
which was
Like
inappropriate as hell from her mother's from a
so
mother's standpoint.
inappropriate.
But it just
Like,
showed you how different the times was because they introduced you to all the characters at the first scene of the movie, and the next time you see Steve, the girls running up to him like they uncle.
when they hugged him when he had those pictures, I'm like, y'all shouldn't even know who this man is. Like, y'all don't. He took a picture of y'all once at the beach.
And they had really good memories back then because he did not write down her address.
He
Okay.
didn't. But you know what? It was in that moment that when that girl yelled out the address, I was like, oh, he gonna remember that. He definitely had like creepy photographer
I mean,
vibes.
but he was literally standing there taking pictures of her while she looking for her kid, and he
No,
didn't say anything to her
he didn't say a word.
until
Oh,
after she said
there's the
something to him.
police. The moment when she was coming downstairs and he was taking pictures of her, I was like, well, I know who her romantic interest is going to be. This guy. It's going to be this man right here, because why him?
Right. Right. And why is he standing there like this far from her face taking pictures of her? Like,
oh,
I'd have been like, excuse me, are you taking pictures of me?
I'm looking for my daughter, but why the hell are you taking pictures of me? This is one of my favorite pastimes, of course, as me and, if you don't know context, me and Siobhan are both photographers that have like skills in photography. And one of my favorite pastimes is like watching films that have to do with photography and being like, nah, that lens, they can't be that close with that lens because it'd be like this. It'd be like this.
No,
Like
Romney, you ain't come in at the wrong time. We just talking about a movie. We just talking about a movie, man. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for
Yo,
dropping.
what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Like, how you got a telephoto lens and it's wide? Hell no. Look, when I went to go see the photograph, I was like, nope. No way she could have got that shot. There's no way she could have got that shot. Not with that lens. Nuh-uh.
That's funny. I was just like, dang, it's funny how the last two movies we watched had a lot to do with photography in a way.
Yep.
I mean, people were in there taking a lot of pictures.
True. Oh my gosh. But he definitely gave me like creepy male photographer. Let's be exact. Like, I haven't met any female, like, yeah, but look, like once he came with it, I was like, oh, I see. Like,
yeah, he was fine. He was too fine.
I let Steve take pictures of me nude. Like,
I'm still trying to think like what her falling in love with Steve was representative of. I mean, the lack of love that she had, the misplaced love that she had because her mama never showed her love.
Yeah. And I think it was, that
mismanaged love.
Yeah, mismanaged love, misplaced love. I like that, where I think she wanted to grow up too. I think she got tired of being like innocent little Miss Susie. I think she was ready to, like, that energy that Sarah Jane was giving off, because I just knew Sarah Jane was about to throw herself at Steve.
Yeah, because did you see how she looked at him? She at the door like, hey, Mr.
He said, you used to be Lex. She was like, they ain't went nowhere.
And I said, girl, did you really just say that? That's so disrespectful. Like, especially back in that time.
Come on now.
Like, as a woman in general, to be speaking to a man like that, that's inappropriate.
Yes.
In that time.
In that time, right. And I couldn't believe, like, the way she came down them stairs. Like, baby girl exuded sex. Like, even when she didn't want to. I was like, why is Sarah Jane giving me so much sex right now?
But I mean, I don't know. I guess it just kind of showed you where she was going. I mean, she technically was a stripper of the time.
She was. Because at first I'm like, what is this? I'm like, okay, she giving me showgirl. I'm like, oh, this is like, she like a stripper. Like, and whatever else happens after this, like,
And she was at the Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, because my man was definitely a John in the back, because he was definitely like, okay, well, let's see what we talking about. Like, let's move up on the little, you know, this your mama? The fuck?
Like, because that's how it looked like. I am so like, this is like
What?
I'm like, that's
My
because that's how they
boner,
be looking.
look, my boner gone.
And then the man gonna say, "Hey, get out of here.
Let's get out of
She's
here.
done now
She's
anyway."
already done. Like, you've already ruined it, so you might as well leave. I'm like, damn.
Oh my gosh! But that scene was heartbreaking. Her telling
It
her that
was.
that's when she killed her mama. Her mama was already sick, but that's when her mama died. So everything after
For
that was
real.
her laying in the bed, half dead for the rest of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, that was her just like what we like to say, closing chapters. Like her just being like, Laura, girl, little do you know, when you was off doing whatever you was doing, I cared about Susie. I tried my best with Sarah Jane, and I lived the best life that I could. I wasn't
Mhm.
always cleaning.
True. But that and it's just like, it's so like crazy. Like, even how she started talking in parables about, I don't have much time left, and I want to take a plane, and all of that kind of stuff. And it was like
Talking about a
nobody,
funeral.
yeah, and nobody paid attention. Like, even when she told Laura that, you know, I belong to many groups and organizations. I know a lot of people. She said, I ain't know you had no friends, girl. And she's like, well, girl, you never asked.
Next.
And then she felt stupid, like, damn, you know what, you're right.
You're right.
But
I
she was
never.
selfish anyway, so you could take that either way. You could take it because of the racism of the
Yep.
time, or you could take it as, this bitch just only been concerned with herself from the start of the movie anyway.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I kind of want to go with the latter because of the many moves that she continued to make. Like, to have Steve come back after so much time and him drop his new little young thing for you, because I felt like, okay, he might have something promising with this young girl. Like, and him dropping her, well, I was very proud of him for being like, you know, after the picnic and being like, it looks like you just don't have time for me. So I'm
I
good
don't
on
know.
you.
I can't get with that, because if he was, if the tables was turned, it would be acceptable for him to be career driven and to be
All day.
that way.
All day.
Everybody want these women, and it's like, remind me of Sylvie's Love. Like, everybody wanted Sylvie to quit her job. Everybody wanted her to, she is the first
Put
Black
love
woman
first.
to work at a television studio as an executive, and you can't find a job in California, and you want to go back to Detroit, so you want her to quit her job and move with you, and she's the breadwinner. And because of the times, you think it's okay for her to do that. That's that bullshit to me. Like,
No.
Steve, you asked her to, you said, girl, you ain't about to make it as no actor. I can't make it as no photographer. So if I can't make it because I'm a man, you can't make it either. So you just need to marry me, and you just need to do what the fuck I
Pick
said do.
love, right.
You know
Love.
what I'm saying? And it's like, if that was his phone ringing, oh, my art exhibit is about to be shown all over the world. Baby, I can't go to Italy. I can't go. It's like, okay. Or, you know what? I'll come with you. But it's like, it's so cut and dry when a woman is driven. I didn't like her daughter in her relationship, but I feel like she was there for her daughter and not there for her daughter all at the same time.
Yes. She, you know, it's that constant battle, I believe, as a mother, rich or poor, you know, financially stable or not financially stable, is that if you do all the things, provide for your child, the roof, the food, the clothes, you know, like kiss at night, I love you, I'm here as much as I can be, I gotta work. Like, then there's that flip side, the emotional, the personal, the relationship, the nurturing. Like, it's that's why I think parenting is honestly one of the hardest jobs, specifically a mother. And it's not easy. And you are so correct. You are so correct. I'm definitely I was thinking from a movie vibe, and I wasn't thinking from like as a woman, because as a woman, I was like, you know,
girl,
I would be like,
do that spaghetti western, girl.
Yes, pick
You
Hey,
better go
hey,
do that spaghetti western.
you feel me? You know, you are so right. Because for a moment, I was feeling like, I was happy for Steve sometimes when he like stood up for himself. Like,
Well, he just a man, and if he wants you, he gonna be here.
yeah, yeah. And what did he do?
He was there.
He
But
was
not
there.
only that, I don't think Susie was boisterous enough as she got older because she was so meek, because a meek
True.
woman basically raised her,
True.
that
True.
she wasn't boisterous with her mom enough about what she needed from her. She
Yeah.
waited for her to give it to her and then got mad at her when she didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I don't think she, because that whole scene where she found out that Steve was gonna marry her. Well, she asked Steve to marry her,
Right.
and he said, yeah. And then she was mad, and then they had their falling out. I do believe that Suji is correct. But my issue with it is I wonder if her mom really would have pushed Steve away, because she had pushed him away
Yeah.
so many times already. Why the hell not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
I
was so
believe she would
easy.
have did it.
It was so easy. And I guess that's where I felt sympathetic to Steve sometimes, where it's like, damn, bro, man, like keep putting his heart out there, and she keep being like, bye bye. Like,
I also wonder why she never told Steve about how Susie felt about him.
mm, I think that she knew that that Steve would be like, I didn't mean to do that. I want to be a father figure to her. Now our relationship is completely ruined. We can't continue as usual, because I think it would, I, because of misplaced love and mismanaged love. I think that Susie can make the adjustment much quicker because she's a kid. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's like, I don't know if you ever seen the video of the young boy who wants to marry his mom, and his mom is explaining to him like, you can't be in love with me. You can't marry me. I'm your mother. Like that's not how this works. And so because she's a kid, you can kind of reroute that. Just like you said, it's mismanaged. You can kind of reroute that. It's misdirection of it. But Steve would understand that now, and he'd be like, "Oh, I can't really be a father to her because she wanna I can't never be around her again, you know." So I
Yeah,
think
yeah, she did say that in the
so maybe
interview too.
yeah.
She said that she would be able, but see, that's my issue too. You cuss your mama out because you mad because she marrying Steve, and you don't think she showed you enough love. But then you saying, "Mama, stop acting, stop with all the theatrics. I'll be all right." But I just wanted to let you know that I'm tired of you and your shit. Okay,
Mhm.
but only because she's a woman. If
Mm.
that was her father and he was out working, yeah, she might have a problem when he missing the birthday parties and the games. I mean, I'm like
Yeah,
this. Her mama was there for her graduation.
she was.
The way her mama was cut, I would have thought she wouldn't have been there. I think Laura was a good person,
She
but
was.
she was a woman of the times. Like, I love the line when she say, "You go lay down. We're gonna take care of you now."
Yes, I like that too. I love that part. And what when I was talking at the screen, I was like, and I really hope you do. I really hope you do, because it's easy to talk all the time. And I really hope you do. Take care of my girl.
But it was a case of two broken hearts,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Susie and Annie, and two
Susie and
selfish
Annie took
people.
it the hardest.
Two selfish people,
Man.
and two broken hearts.
Yep. And even the selfish people, although Sarah Jane, it did come off intentional sometimes. I don't think that they always meant that, to choose themselves, but
They just had they things.
they felt it was necessary. Uh, they were both driven by what they wanted so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Jane driven by her need and want, and just like
Total belief,
belief.
disbelief.
Yes,
It was
to
white,
be a white woman. And Laura's like wanting to be a Broadway Hollywood infamous like actress, like
but so
period.
broken up about it. Both of them so broken up about it all at the same time, though.
Yo, every moment I was like, when are you gonna get over it?
Yeah,
Like, when are you just gonna move past it? When are you gonna say, okay, enough is enough?
Right.
Like, I'm okay. So but I will say, I'm very, very happy to have added this to the movies I've seen. It's definitely one of those like critically acclaimed classic AMC type vibes.
Hmm.
Um, when you talk about the 100 films that you should have seen, I believe this is one of them.
I think it is on the list. I'm
Yeah, I
not
believe
sure.
it's on the list. I'm very happy to have seen it, and it provokes a lot of conversations and a lot of thoughts that which throw that just blows me that we can still talk about today.
I
Because, like we
mean,
said,
it's
it's
still mamas that look like you having kids that look like me. So
yep. Isn't that wild? That is completely wild. And
literally
we're
my
and we're
life.
talking about right, right, right. I like I said, I sent that meme. Well, it wasn't a meme, but it was a triptych of photos of Laura's character just talking about like how she wants everything. And I'm like, oh my God, that is my life, where you're like, and I'm sure a lot of people can attest to this, like where it's like you want everything. You like, and you want it now too. But
Yeah.
then also like, damn, maybe I'm asking too much, like, so it was moments where she tapped into like the selfishness, and she tapped into her morality and was like, you know what? Whatever. Like, I'm gonna go back to the
But I feel
envelopes.
like that's who Sarah Jane modeled her life after, and that's why she was so hell
Mm,
bent trying to be white.
mm,
And that's why she was
mm.
so driven to that point. And that's why she wouldn't let nothing stop her. Because Susie took the more like meek,
Yep.
respectable,
Yep.
friendly, everybody
Yep.
like me, everybody know me, I'm into this, I'm doing that, living the full life type thing that
Yep.
Annie was doing. But okay, so the scenes that shape and make the end of the movie, the two scenes, well, two or three scenes, is the one with the mom, Susie and her mom, where she find out they have their little first and ever falling out, and she
Yeah.
tell her, girl, I did everything for you, and and then you have the final scene with Sarah Jane and her mom, where she basically like, mama, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this to you, but I have to, and you got to understand that I don't want you to know me anymore, because I am a white woman living in America, and that is what I want to do. And her mama basically saying, you know what? I'm fine with that. And then her realizing that, damn, my mama tired. Like, she said it to me, and she don't want to fight for me no more. And I got what I wanted, but now I'm realizing what I'm losing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, now I have to stick with it because she not gonna come back no more.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it is. Like, this is what it is now. Like, I'm white Judy lady, and I'm got a mammy now.
Judy of all names. Like, I'm like, that's a white ass name, Judy. Even though, like, we've come to know like Big Booty Judy, but she
And
went there.
that was that. And then we go from that to her dying and
Damn.
finding out all the people she wanted to, her funeral, her, you know, telling Steve to find her daughter, and
Mm-hmm.
giving her pearls to, because at this point when she died, Susie was on the outs because she was pissed off at her mom. Sarah Jane
Yep.
outs because she wanted to be on the outs. So
Pissed
now
off
these
her
two
mom.
women, we finally seeing these two women having their moment of like, I love you, I need you, you are my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I just wonder, white people watching that movie back in that time, watching a black and a white woman having an actual friendship on screen, and having the questions of, do you feel like they were partners, having the
Mm,
questions of, do you feel like they were friends, were they
mm.
best friends, did they consider themselves sisters, they considered their
Ooh.
sisters, like, how do white people feel about that? Like, because that's controversial in
For sure.
itself.
For sure. Like, reading up about it, the movie itself was, a lot of controversy because movies about passing were just like, what? Like,
It's a whole movie called Pinky about a
yeah.
white woman who
Yep.
played the care, and they were all blackballed from the industry after that film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
It's just
that
like,
movie.
damn,
It's
to
really
even
good.
make the movie, like you were treated that
Yeah.
way.
I
So to
mean,
think of the
yeah.
actual result of watching the film and how it could change the course of your thoughts or the path of your thought, like,
Even making you think those thoughts to some people would be considered like nigger loving. You know what I'm saying? Even to have those conversations.
Yep.
And that's the thing about watching movies like that from that time that make me wonder, like even watching like, because Pinky was a movie where a lot of white actors were blackballed because this was a white actress who was playing a character who was mixed. In Pinky. And then you got movies like Night of Living Dead where the final character is a black man and he's the one that survives. I met the guy who was the cop that shot him at a Comic-Con, and he told me like they all couldn't find work after that. That movie was like, it was hard. If George Romero didn't keep them working, they wouldn't have had no work because they were done. Like that movie deaded their careers because that black man was the final guy, even though he was killed by officers, which is still, we should watch that.
Yeah, we should. I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I had
And
no
look,
idea.
so this is what I was about to like. This was kind of like my, final be all of watching The Imitation of Life. Is like I feel other Westworld was a terrible gateway to like watching films before my time. But this was, of course, it was hard getting used to the acting and oh my god, the lighting and
Yeah, that dramatic lighting was confusing the hell out of
that
me.
continuity. Oh my god, those day scenes that was played as night. I'm like, we know it's day. It gotta be day. Because we know y'all don't even know how to like day scenes because we know so we know you don't know how to like no night scenes. So some of them pan shots, I was like, that's just terrible. Like it reminds me when I first picked up a camera. And it just was like, but once I got over that hump, it was like, wow, this is actually a really amazing film.
It's really good.
Really good. It's
So,
really good.
we only got one more scene to talk about.
Oh yes. Let's talk about it.
What did you think about the final scene?
Okay. So I appreciated the it kind of gave me the feeling of, now let's open you into a world that throughout this whole film you've never had a chance to see.
Right.
Let's let you look at the world through Annie's eyes.
Right.
Having who was the woman singing?
Mahalia Jackson.
Y'all, is her voice, her face, her presence. It was just, it's like when you ain't been to church in a long time. Like, let me go get saved,
The Black Baptist Church, yes.
It was, and everything was there. The dramatics was there with Sarah Jane just popping out of nowhere and giving us the infamous, like, black person not wanting to let the person go, like, I'm sorry, I killed you. I did it. It was me. Of course, I'm like, man, they could have did a better job because it's like
the first time I saw it, that I cried. Like,
did you?
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I didn't cry. I think
that's the contrast of it for me. Like me from the perspective of someone who looks like her, who could have done that to my mom, and then I break away from her and she dies, and I know it's my fault.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I cried. Yes. Like, I cried and I said, Mama, I don't know why you made me watch this. This movie is trash. Like, I was mad at her. And then we had to sit down and we had to have a conversation about it because I was hurt. Like, that hurt me. Like, that broke me down. I was crying like bad. I had to come in there and be like, Mama, like, no, like, that's not right. Like, why did she do that to her mom? I would never do anything like that to you, because my mom basically like, you sit down and you watch this movie. You better not never do nothing like that to me. And then I came in there after I watched the movie and I said, I was crying and I was like, I would never do anything like that to you. And I don't understand why you made me watch that movie. It was sad. Then we had to sit down. Then we had to have a talk about it, because I needed to understand why she made me watch this girl who looks like me do this to her mom when I would never do anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I even by the end of that, as so, like I said, so many times that I was so mad at Sarah Jane. Even at the end where she was like taking blame and being like, it was me. I felt, you know, a little sympathetic. You know, I felt sad. You know, I was like, damn, like it, cause it's one thing to, you know, go through your life and being like placing blame on others. But then when something happens to them and you really truly believe it, that's the one moment where I felt like that wasn't dramatics. She wasn't just trying to get sympathy or empathy from others. I felt like, wow, this is the realest moment.
Real Sarah Jane. This is real.
This is real Sarah Jane. Like, I had been waiting for that so long. That's why I had to like give her that, like, damn, I'm sorry, Sarah. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, Sarah Jane. Like, I'm sorry that you had to go through your life feeling that way, blaming your mother, her passing, and you being like, I killed my mom. I know why this happened to her, because it was all my fault and I could have done a better job. Yeah. And damn, like,
I should have came home. You don't know how many times I wanted to come home. I just couldn't I couldn't give my mom the satisfaction that she was right.
Because she couldn't, it was almost,
she couldn't fake it. You ain't about to tell me that didn't nobody else find out she was black along the way. You ain't about to tell me she didn't have a hard life just because of the occupation she chose.
Come on.
The types of men she was dealing with, white or black, whatever, it don't matter. She thrusted herself into a dangerous lifestyle, even for a white woman in that time.
Yes. Those weren't savory characters in those scenes. Like, you could tell they were old girl she was dealing with. Old nasty men that you were dealing with. So come on now. Like, they don't, we know what they want. You know what they want, and you know why you're there.
Yeah.
So to play into that role, like, look what a so-called innocent young man did to you. Like, he was your high school sweetheart. Like, and look what he did to you. I mean,
slapped you several times.
Your ass in the alley.
He never used fists. He just slapped her.
He slapped the shit out of her. Like that. Like 6, 7. I do not condone violence. One, definitely don't condone violence male on female.
Right. Seriously.
For real. But like, if you go whoop somebody's ass and you just happen to be a man,
he whooped her ass.
Slap the shit out of her
several times in the face.
It comes across like a punch, for sure.
But she had arms like she was just okay. Let's go move on.
We got to because we just gonna seem like it's just not good for the brand. It's not good for the 2 Steps in the Circle brand. We're gonna move on. Oh man, I won't watch this again. Just like you said, I'm just not gonna pull up Imitation of Life. But it definitely has
6 or 7 times in my lifetime.
Second time?
I've seen it about 6 or 7 times.
6 or 7 times. Wow. I could see myself watching it for skimming through it for like research purposes. I would love to possibly take smaller versions of this story or some version of this story and possibly repurpose it. I think it would be an amazing story to tell, you know, even just like reflecting off what you know, your actual personal story. And also just like, to me, it's a gateway to like getting into older films. So I wouldn't mind watching older films like this. And
I believe you've never seen Night of the Living Dead.
I have not. So we definitely
such a great
We
movie.
should definitely add that to the
My
because
God.
yeah, yeah.
The
And
guy,
speaking of that,
just a fun fact,
yeah,
the guy who created The Walking Dead lived in the town that George Romero grew up in, and his staff came from that town, and he was one of the teenagers who worked on his staff, and then he worked on all the rest of his movies, and then
really,
he got as an adult, he came up with the concept of The Walking Dead and became the writer and creator of the
it's
show.
nuts. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Now, what was you about
Um,
to say?
I was gonna segue us into basically talking about the film that we're gonna watch next week. And
What?
basically, what'd you say?
I forgot.
We spoke about Glory because we're
Okay.
stepping into Black History Month, and
All right.
we thought that of course, that was during and that was like 3 weeks ago when we talked about all of this.
Yes, we really wanted to go there.
Right.
Whew.
And we were talking about Denzel earlier,
Yes.
and back on kind of like movies that I will admit, I don't believe that I've ever watched Glory all the way through. I've probably seen tidbits, TNT, AMC, like growing up and shit, but I don't think I've ever watched Glory front to back, especially as an adult with the knowledge and experience that I have. So, of course know about the Glory tier and everything like that. And my man Ferris Bueller's in the movie. I didn't know that. I don't
Yes,
think I
Matthew
remembered that.
Broderick is in the movie.
Right, Matthew Broderick. His real name will always be Ferris to me because that is my favorite like 80s movie. But it has me thinking, like, and we could talk about this more off camera. Um, is like getting into some themes, like so as we get into Black History Month, doing films that are centered around like historical Black events or just like Black stories or whatever it may be, getting into horror, getting into like older horror, getting into like 80s 90s rom-coms, because that's definitely my zhuzh. And yeah, I look forward to it. But are we for sure on our Glory? We're gonna do Glory.
I
Let me
mean,
look up Glory real quick and see where we can watch it.
I don't think
to
it's
see
anywhere.
to see people, this is this is looks like it's on Hulu.
Oh, but is it
Mm,
like Showtime,
Let
Hulu?
me double check. Right, because that's how they really get you. It's on Stars.
Oh, don't nobody have no
I
stars.
I was just about to say that. And they be trying to give you stars. I swear to God, they give you stars $25, 6 months. I'm like, oh, I see what y'all trying to do.
I still don't want it.
I still don't want it.
Still don't want
And I ain't willing to do it. I
it.
don't think I'm willing to do it.
If we don't watch Glory, what will we watch?
I
You
know. That's what I'm like in my head, like,
got something in your pocket? Well, we can talk about that off camera though.
yeah, we can.
So, I mean,
Look,
we can say Glory for right now, and if we change off camera, then we'll just put it in our
yeah,
promotion.
man. Yeah, just be on the lookout. Just be on the lookout, people. So, uh, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. We well, obviously haven't figured out our closing yet.
Not exactly, but we can do something we never did before. You say one, I say one.
Oh no, you just say yours.
Well, as you all know, we have the genius idea of ending our show with a movie quote, and today's movie quote is from the amazing movie that we just watched, Imitation of Life. And I'm gonna give you all the dramatics that I can. All right,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna do it exactly like the film, but I'm gonna try to get that Laura energy in me. Whew. I love that they always tell her, "You're acting. You're acting." That's my favorite part. Every time everybody's just like, "We know what you up to." All right. I'm going up and up and up. Nobody's gonna pull me down.
That's when she was on the stairwell. She said,
Yeah.
because I was like, girl, where are you going up?
Where are you going up to? Look, and
Girl,
look,
no, that's like when Annie died, and she was like, "I'm going up to the what she said."
oh my God, what did she say?
It was something about like basically going up to the upper room, but the way she said it was like,
Look, I told Chevy, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I giggled a lot. I giggled a lot because the dramatics had me going. I just couldn't believe that they were so dramatic.
yes.
It cracked me up every turn. The
Like,
way
I
that,
never seen like All About Eve or nothing like that, right? Oh yeah, girl. Yeah,
yeah,
we gotta get
I'm not.
you
I mean,
black and
I
white, a little bit of color.
just even hearing the way that they spoke, I'm like, is it the time? Like, is it the time that the it's just like, why do they speak that way? Like, even Susie, like young Susie character, I'm like, why she talk like that?
Yeah, we gotta get you into the.
Yeah, you got to get me into the older films. You might
I love
like,
a good old movie.
yo, I might fall in love. I like, I think I can fuck with the dramatics. Um, I do want to give just a little bit of context to why I chose that, because
Okay.
I felt like it didn't, and it didn't to me talk about the film itself, but what I guess what we were getting towards the end of, like, talking about the selfishness of Sarah Jane and Laura, is that what they were willing to do to continuously like go after what they want. And that I no, actually, I'm gonna stand by that. I felt like that was the theme of this movie sometimes, is that I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to create the life for myself. And so, reflecting on the title of the film, Imitation of Life, they all kind of imitated what the life that they wanted,
Mhm.
especially, those narcissistic characters, those selfish characters. I think Annie, and you saw it very easily, like Annie and Susie just was kind of like going with the flow of things. But yeah, that's why I chose that quote. And it's so dramatic. It's
It
so
really is. Looking
like
up at the
what
sky.
up. It's one thing to say up and up
By
and up.
the third up, I was like,
The third up, I'm like, damn,
where
how up
the
is
hell are
it
you
gonna go?
going?
And, and that's why it kind of disappointed me that, like,
She
when
didn't
they did the
say
montage of all the plays, I'm like, this is all you gonna do? This is the up? Like, what about pictures? What about pictures?
oh my gosh.
Oh
That's
man.
funny.
Go ahead, segue us out, Chevy.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ninja, for dropping in. Thank you, Stacy, for dropping in. Thank you, Jarrell, for dropping in. And more of y'all drop in. No, this is what the more y'all need to do. More of you guys would need to sign up for Twitch. It's free. It's
Come on
easy.
now.
Timbaland is here. Lil Jon is here. T Grizzly is here. Soldier Boy is here. We're here. Sign up for Twitch. Join the conversation. Hop in the chat. We got prizes to give away, but enough of y'all don't be coming. So come on, so we can give y'all stuff live. I love that you guys watch us on the YouTube channel. Like, follow, and subscribe. Chevy Clark. We need you guys to come live and join the live conversation. Yeah, so follow me at Chevy the Superstar, Toya at Point of View Finder, us both on Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you next Thursday at 8 o'clock for 2 snaps and a circular motion.
Hey.
All right, y'all.
Bye.